Hello and welcome to my perfume vlog. So I am not going to go back and talk about the perfumes that I already mentioned during my Melbourne diaries. I'm just going to talk about the ones I have had yet to review. I'm going to try and keep it very quick and succinct and to the point, and then I'll tell you what I ended up choosing to add to my collection. So hopefully I haven't forgotten any. I can't quite remember where I left off, but I did try Sun, Moon and Stars. This was giving a department store from the 80s. That was the vibe. So I'll just put the fragrant profiles and notes up here so you can see yourself. I'll probably go more in the middle so it's easier that way. Then there was a Libre, which I said smells like French provincial Ribena. It's also a bit like grape Hubba Bubba. So the main smells were the blackcurrant and the lavender, so it was very fruity, but it did remind me of provincial France. And then we've got La Vie, oh sorry, I did not throw that well. La Vie est belle, and I said this smells like my great grandmother Amelia. It's giving an English lady who collects Franklin Mint porcelain and likes Quality Street chocolate, the ones that come in the tin. It's also very musky. Then we have Dolce & Gabbana Violet. This was like eating cassis sorbet by the River Seine in France. It definitely smells French, and it reminds me of that because I did eat cassis sorbet in France by the river. So very much black currants and violets. It is nice. I just didn't feel like it was me. Then we have Dior Addict Fraise. I don't know how to speak French, so please excuse me. And I said this is like drinking iced tea in a spring garden. So for this one, it was mostly the bergamot and the freesia. It was quite fresh. Then we have Angel Elixir, and this was giving ginger tea with amber, but it was just too monotone for me. Then we have Chance. So this was a very fresh and bright fragrance. But however, a lot of my family members wear Chanel perfumes. Like a lot of them wear different Chanel perfumes. And I just think of them. I think of my family members. So I think it's like Chanel No. 5, Chance, Mademoiselle, like a lot of them wear those. So unless they bring out a new fragrance that none of my family members have gotten onto, I can't really go for the Chanel range. And then we have Aura by Thierry Mugler. And this was super green, very, very fresh. It was like drinking a really nice green juice on a hot day. It's very refreshing, but it's not the kind of profile I'm looking for. And then we have Dior Addict. So there's a story with this one. For a moment in time, Dior Addict was actually my fragrance. I think it was my fragrance for a year, but my ex-husband didn't particularly love it. So I stopped wearing it. But when I was getting all these samples and I saw it there, I thought, oh, let's just take a walk down memory lane. And I freaking loved it. So this to me smells like, I don't know, Dirty Dancing on a Barbie night with a sexy stranger. It's rich, it's spicy, it's warm. However, I went to look up the profile and I saw that they have two formulations. So they've got the original, which is what I used to wear, and what this one smelled like, and then the new formula. So I contacted the sample place, and theirs was from the original formula, the pre-2014, which was so nuanced and had so many components. They had to reformulate because oak moss was now, I think, had become prohibited to use in larger quantities. Like the regulations changed, but they didn't just take out the oak moss, they stripped this whole perfume down. And I haven't smelt the new one, but I did go on YouTube and I watched all of these perfume reviewers talk about the two of them. And can I just say, these people are able to construct the most beautiful stories from scent profiles. It was like going on an adventure, and I am in awe of their noses and their ability to vocalize what it is they're smelling. It kind of reminds me of the Perfume book, which I do like that book, but that book is messed up, just be forewarned. But yes, I watched all the reviews and every single one of them said that the new formulation does not hold a candle to the old one. It doesn't even compare. So I'm still going to try the new one out when I go to a department store just to smell it, to see the difference between the two. If they still made Dior Addict like they used to, this would have been my new fragrance. I absolutely freaking adored it. And I love that they have as one of the components, the Queen of the Night Sirius flower, which came to me in a dream, was offered by Persephone. Didn't know anything about it, but she told me, here's a white flower, it's called Solace, which is how she said it to me. And that's because if I didn't know how it was spoken phonetically, I would assume by the way it's spelled Cereus, Cereus, that would be how you say it, but it's serious. So anyway, that was almost the jackpot. Unfortunately, like I said, they don't make that anymore. To buy a whole bottle of it these days, I have seen it priced at $900 a bottle, and that's just, bro, cannot. I did buy a larger vial of the sample from this sample place just so I have it a bit longer. But yeah, that was a bit upsetting because I thought, okay, my journey's over, but alas, it was not. So now I went on to a bit of a Tom Ford binge because I liked his previous ones. So we're going on to Tom Ford, Vanille Fatale. I said this reminds me of my yaya's house. It's smoky and fruity and alcoholic and floral, smoky and warm and comforting. I just feel like Tom Ford must have known my yaya, must have been in my childhood because, as you know, with Lost Cherry, I just was brought back in time, and this was the same thing. It just reminded me of being safe and loved. So I really did actually enjoy this one. And then I tried Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, and this is like drinking peach schnapps in a ski lodge. It's nice, but my kids really didn't like it. So once again, if my children have an adverse reaction and really don't like something, I'm not going to consider it, but it's very interesting. Then I tried Tom Ford's Cherry Smoke, and I said this initially reminds me of an Impulse body spray that I used as a child. If I can remember what it was, I'll put a picture up. But I said it's very cherry heavy and it's strong, but then you get leather and olives and wood. So it kind of reminds me of Greece. It's got like a Mediterraneanness to it, but I didn't like it more than Lost Cherry. Then I tried Electric Cherry, and I said this is fruity and sweet like a cherry sundae. So also Lost Cherry is definitely the winner out of the cherries. Then I tried Tom Ford's Lavender Extreme, and this smelled like a really nice day spa. Like it's very relaxing and, you know, a bit luxurious, but it's a day spa smell for me. And then I tried Rose Prick by Tom Ford once again. And this is like a bouquet of fresh roses with a really warm, spicy base. It's pretty much smells like you're getting a bouquet of flowers from your rich aunt. And then we had Plum Japonais. I don't know how to pronounce. And this kind of reminded me of a hookah den. It was very spicy, and it's like drinking spiced liqueur. It was very unisex smelling to me. Then I tried Jasmine Rouge, and this is very heavy on the jasmine. I could not smell the other smells. So for me, it reminds me of a summer night's walk, because that's when you smell the jasmine at night, because it's a night flowering plant. So it was nice, but I didn't want to smell just of jasmine, even though it's one of my favorite floral scents. And then I tried Soleil Brûlant, and this smells like a $2 store. If anyone knows, like $2 shops, they normally sell a lot of cheap incense, and so that's how they smell to me, and that's what this smelled like. And then I tried Rosie de Russie, and this was, oh my God. Okay, this was awful on me. This was like rose petals that had been soaking in an ashtray. And my kids, as soon as I got in the car, they started screaming to put the windows down. They couldn't stand it. I tried, it was so strong on me. I tried to wipe it off. It didn't come off. So then I tried spraying other perfumes on top of it, and it still overpowered them. So the strength of this is something to be admired, but I had a very visceral, no, don't like this scent. Then I tried Rose d'Amalfi, and this smelled like a really bougie wedding reception. After that, I tried Velvet Orchid, and this was giving cocktails at a very classy bar. Did you just bite me? Did you just bite me? Hey, you in a bitey mood. The next one I tried was a Neroli Portofino, and this kind of smelled like a citrus cleaning spray. Going to be honest. And then I tried Fleur de Portofino, and this was like drinking hot lemon tea whilst overlooking the coast. And then I tried Amber. She's just so bitey. I'm not going to do it. Do you want to be petted or do you not want to be petted? I'm just going to put my hand here. There we go. I tried Amber Absolute, and this was like, it's so weird. Once again, Tom Ford just gets certain childhood memories. Smelled like my dad's Pontiac Firebird from the 80s. It was, yeah, it just smelled like that. You know the cars that have kind of like velour seating? Like it's not fabric, but it's not velvet, but it's just that kind of velour, and it's been sitting in the sun. So it's got the sun smell. So it was very warm and vanilla-y and the scent was very strong on me. Like, it actually woke me up at night. I woke up smelling it. So it was nice, but I didn't want it to be my signature scent. But yeah, I liked it, but I just kept waking up and smelling it all night long. And then I tried White Suede, and this smelt like a sort of swanky public bathroom. And then there was Eau de Fleur, and this smelt like a florist's shop. So it's nice, but it smelt like walking into a florist. And then there was Noir de Noir, and for me this smelt like glamping. So it had those camping scents, but a little more bougie, you know, the glamping comes into play. And then I tried Black Orchid. So this reminded me of De Schwarzwald, the Black Forest. It was chocolatey, it was fruity, and it was foresty. There was a bit of a spice to it as well. And then I tried Vanilla Sex, and this smelt like a newly built home. So you know when you go and you view just built mansions and they've got the new home smell, but also with sugared almonds, the kind you get at weddings. And then there was Mer Mystere, and this smelled like a Greek church. Like, it's just brought me back to the Greek Orthodox Church, and I kind of like it, but I don't really want to go smelling like a church. But would I object to someone getting on their knees to worship at my altar? No, I wouldn't. But yeah, it was just a bit too Greek Orthodox churchy for me. And then I tried a different perfume, so not a Tom Ford, and this was Yara Moi. This was sent to me as a freebie, and this smells like peach cobbler. So delicious, but not how I want to smell. I then tried My Daughter in Bloom 23. This is definitely the truest gardenia I have ever smelt in a gardenia perfume. For me, it reminded me of my wedding day because I had a bouquet of gardenias, which I wouldn't recommend because gardenias are delicate and fragile, and they do not do well in the heat. So they soured quite quickly, but it is, if you love gardenia, you'll love this smell. Then I tried Dolce & Gabbana The One, and this smells like a perfume that Sofia Vergara would wear. That's who I saw in my mind wearing it. It was nice, but it wasn't me. And then I also got another freebie, Luscious Pink by Mariah Carey. And this smells like champagne brunch with the girls by the beach. You know, it's giving on Wednesday we wear pink vibes. And then I've got my perfume from today. So it came in this little bag. The experience was lovely. So the store is really beautiful. It's set in this little courtyard. It's very chill, and you basically sit down. They kind of ask you, what are you like wanting? So I gave them the profiles of the 3 scents: Dior Addict Original, Angel by Thierry Mugler, and Miranda by Flageolet, to show them like what kind of profiles I like, which tends to be vanilla, spicy, warm, woody kind of deals, gourmand as well. After that, they then had me smell, I think it was like 13 or so fragrances. It was like a floral, a marine, a gourmand, a musk. So you smell them when you say which ones you like and you don't like. And then from that, they sort of construct the base, the middle, and the top notes. They don't really ask you, well, they didn't ask me any particular notes I wanted. I did ask them if they had the Night Blooming Cereus flower, because I thought I would love to have that in my signature scent. They said no, they've never heard of that before. So if you're looking for the Night Blooming Cereus, it's not there. So we went through, they concocted one, they let me smell it, and I would say like yes or no, or what do I think it needs more of? And this is where it's hard because I'm not a perfumer. I don't know what the actual term is. I don't know, does it need more woody, or am I just thinking woody in my head, but that actually needs more musk? So it's very hard, I think, to really articulate for me what I felt like was missing. And also you have to understand you were smelling a lot. So you're doing a lot of smelling and your nose gets worn out, and you eventually reach a point where you're like, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. I don't know what feedback to give to make it better. All I know is like, oh, I don't love it, or it's okay. So we went through quite a few variations. I think we did eight different concoctions, and then I just sort of had to pick one because you're only given 2 hours, and we'd reached the hour and a half mark, so they had to make a perfume and bottle it up for me. So I did end up just choosing one, and I'll show you what it is before I talk about the scent. So this is it bottled, and I called it Solace after my deck, but also because it means the sun, and I think it sort of suits the profile of it. So that is what it looks like in the end. To me, after coming home and smelling it, basically I recreated vanilla diorama. I was like straight away, I'm like, this is vanilla diorama, which I liked, but I was like, oh, I don't think it's the one. So it's very spicy and warm and sweet, and there's like a woodsy element to it. So basically, if you smelled vanilla diorama, it's that, but with less of the incensey kind of smell, because I believe that vanilla diorama had patchouli and it was quite incense smelling, whereas this has its other profile. So I like it, but I wouldn't call it me. You know, I don't feel like it's my scent. They told me what the profile is, but they didn't list the notes. So I don't know what the particular notes are. And she said something along the lines of like, even if it's, you know, coconut, it's actually not coconut that we're putting in. It just reminds people of like how coconut smells. So she didn't tell me the notes, which is a bummer because I kind of wanted notes. I'm like, tell me, like, does it have vanilla? Does it have sandalwood? Like, I was hoping for a breakdown, but I'll tell you what they did tell me that this is. I've accidentally bumped the camera, so it's probably a different shot. Okay, so the base notes of this are ambery, musky, woody, and tobacco. So those are the base notes. The middle notes are elemi, which I'm going to have to Google because I'm not sure what that is, creamy and aromatic. And then the top notes are spice and marine. I was quite surprised that they went with marine, but I did like the scent of it. Marine as its own smell, or I think they call it aqueous, it does smell like Cool Water by Davidoff. And I like the way it smells, but I said to her, I think I just like the way it smells, but I don't know how that's going to go in a fragrance. But you can't really smell it. There's like a slight, I guess, like freshness to it. There's like a little bit of it's a top note, obviously, but otherwise, yes, the main thing is it smells warm and spicy and sweet. That would be the main profile of it. So I do like it, but it's not my favorite. Would I recommend doing them? It's an experience, certainly, but I think, I don't know, you might need to have a bit more knowledge to really get the most out of it. I just don't have a huge amount, and I couldn't really give proper feedback because I wasn't sure. I'd be like, oh, there's something not quite there, like it's almost there, but it's not, and I didn't know what it was. And I did at one point ask, like, can you put some jasmine in there? Because I love jasmine, but then the jasmine did overpower all the other scents. So it's basically like a jasmine perfume. I'm like, well, I don't want just a jasmine perfume, but yes, I don't know. So it's interesting. It's very expensive. So this is $350 for 50 mils. And obviously the 2 hours experience that you get there. But I'm guessing if you're a bit more certain in what you want, or maybe if you're just trying to recreate a perfume that's not, like, I could have gone there saying, I want to recreate Fragonard. But I still think, she told me that even if you go in with like the notes that Fragrantica will say like, oh, this is coconut and amber and blah, 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 it doesn't mean that it's actually going to smell like that, because people do like blends to get that scent, and you know, it might not have the same blend that perfumer used. So I don't know, it's definitely an interesting experience. Like I said, I will wear this, but I won't go back to get it remade. Now, did I come away with from this experience with a new signature scent that I absolutely love? Like I have loved Angel, Dior Addict, and Miranda? No. But I did come away with some that I have decided to add to my collection in the meantime. So obviously I've got Solace here, which is definitely more of a wintry scent. It kind of reminds me of like Christmas time, but make it sexy. Kind of, you know, by a crackling fire sort of thing, having a kiss under the mistletoe. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The other two that I have chosen are both Tom Ford, which like shed tears for my wallet, guys. The Tom Ford fragrances are so expensive. I'm waiting to see if they ever go on sale because I have enough testers that I don't actually need to buy fragrance at the moment. And I'm hoping they do eventually go on sale because my God. But the two that I picked from Tom Ford, the first one is Lost Cherry. So that was the one that smelled like drinking cherry juice in my yaya's front garden on a warm sunny day with her, with the sunlight dappling through the treetops. It just reminded me of my favorite times, you know, spending summer with my yaya in her garden, just chatting and doing things together. And I thought maybe it was enough to just have the nostalgia, but I actually do like the scent. I did want a kind of lighter summery scent. And out of all the ones that I tried, that one was my favorite, and my kids liked it too. It doesn't last a long time on me though, so that one does wear off. But in the meantime, that was my favorite sort of warm, sort of summertime, springtime kind of fresher scent. And then the next one I chose for, you know, the winter and the autumn is another Tom Ford, and that was Vanille Fatale. And I know that I said it smelt like my yaya's house because it had all of the components that like made up the smells of my yaya's house. And obviously for me, anything that reminds me of yaya and reminds me of spending time with her makes me feel loved and makes me happy. So it gives me just this feeling of contentment and peace. But this one was very smoky and warm and sweet and spicy with the hints of like the alcohol and the floral and the fruity. It was quite complex, but it lasted ages on me. So it definitely dries down to more of the warm, smoky, vanilla-y, ambery kind of profile. I think there's leather and tobacco in there, I'm pretty sure, because Tom Ford loves leather and tobacco. But it's definitely dries down to that rather than the other notes. And it lasted forever on me. So I could smell it all night. People could smell it on me as well. And I just used the smallest amount. So something that my skin really amplified. And that's something I do look for in a perfume. Does my body take it and embrace it and make it more and hold on to it? And it definitely did that with Vanille Fatale. So I'd say out of the 3 that I've added, so we've got the Soleil and the Lost Cherry and the Vanille Fatale, I'd say the one that was most suited to me is probably the Vanille Fatale. And I do really love it. It's just got something missing that would make it my signature scent that I'd be like, oh, I love this. Like, I absolutely resonate with this. There was just something not quite there. So am I going to continue to look not purposefully? If I'm out at a department store, I'm out somewhere and they have some perfume testers, I might just smell a couple in case I come across a scent that I just resonate with deeply, because I would love to have a scent that I feel like is me as much as the other 3 used to be. Like, I am hoping one day that Angel just goes back to smelling fantastic on me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they changed their formula. I don't think they did. Or my body chemistry has probably just changed. I'm older now. But otherwise, like I said, I will always keep an eye out just in case. But I am happy to add the 2 Tom Fords and the Solace for the meantime. I probably will replace this with something else, though. I'll keep the Vanille Fatale and the Lost Cherry because they're quite different to each other, and I'll keep that 4th slot open for something else that comes along. It was definitely an experience. I do think fragrance and scent is important, and I want to sort of cultivate a smell that, you know, when you find a perfume that really feels like you, it's nothing like it. It's just so empowering, and it makes you feel so confident, and you just feel more you. It's like a little accoutrement, you know, that just, it's the cherry on top. So yes, I will still browse every now and again. If anybody's got one that they think could be up my alley based on what I've chosen, do let me know. So that way, if I am out, I can actually keep that one in mind, choose specifically. Otherwise, I'll just be randomly, oh, I'll smell you, I'll smell you, I'll smell you. But I don't think I would go to another custom perfume one. It's too overwhelming for me. And my nose can only handle so much. And it's like, I don't really know how to concoct the perfect perfume. You know, I'm hoping I'll just randomly smell it one day and just go, oh, that's amazing. Like, I can't stop smelling that. I did smell some of their other scents. So they do have at Metascent pre-made perfumes there. So I do recommend going around smelling. And my favorite out of those would be the Cater. So I'll put that up if I can. I think that's what it was called. And the Sweet Amber. I still didn't feel like either of those were my signature scent either, so I didn't bother purchasing them. But there was also a candle. There's also a scent there that would make the perfect Christmas candle, and that was called Unoya. Perfect candle scent, but it's a perfume as well. But I was like, oh my God, I would totally burn this in my house. But that is my perfume journey. So it's over for now. Like I said, if I randomly smell a perfume here and there, I'll let you know. But thanks for watching. If this was interesting to you, yay. But that's everything. Until next time, stay wild, star child.